Netflix is scamming you. They have been taking advantage of us subscribers for way too long now, and I just came wise to it the other day. I'm going to be covering several different points here to prove that Netflix has been scamming us all along. The first is that Netflix has been silently attempting to limit our available content while simultaneously boosting advertising revenue. I'm also going to talk about how their ridiculous subscription options are taking advantage of our preferences. And then I'm also going to be telling you about the current state of Netflix as a company post-inflation, because obviously all these price hikes come from somewhere, and Netflix absolutely knows what it's doing. It's making a lot of really serious choices here that are truly limiting our potential and what our offerings really represent as we know them from our previous experience. And this is something that needs to be dealt with. This is something that needs to be addressed, and that's what I'm going to be doing today. Before I get into it though, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notifications bell so you don't miss the next episode. I would greatly appreciate it. To begin, let's talk about 3 different subscription options that you have as a consumer. Yes, Netflix cares about you so much, they're willing to give you a very cheap option, an option that's more expensive, but it's not so expensive that you won't purchase Netflix, and then an option that's for the absolute biggest fans of the highest quality entertainment you can find. And all of this is absolutely bogus, of course, and it's meant to drive you into their newest price standard format, which we're going to be getting into the prices soon as well. But we're talking about what is offered in each one of these subscription models. The first being standard with ads, frequent ads. As we all know, we are just bombarded with ads on Netflix nowadays. It's annoying. If you're really that annoyed by it, just spend an extra, I don't know, like $8 and get the standard plan. That's what they're hoping for. Another big thing here is there's 2 devices in one household. Both of this is offered in standard with ads and standard alone. This is a big problem because obviously Netflix has been cracking down on password sharing. I share a Netflix with my family, and I don't live at home anymore, obviously. And at my place, it registers every time I want to go on Netflix. And if Netflix is logged in at the house, it will log me out or it will log them out. And we have to communicate with each other when we're going to watch Netflix. It's ridiculous. Even if only one device is using it in that household, it's ridiculous. The biggest problem with standard with ads is it excludes a complete film library. This is absolutely ridiculous, and this was my latest revelation. I'm going to be getting into that a little further later, so I'm going to save it for a later story. Another thing is full HD. All 3 of these are HD. They had an option that had no HD, but I mean, high definition is now the bare minimum of what can be offered with streaming. Now onto the standard plan. There's no ads, so you're spending a lot more money, but hey, there's no commercials. We're back to how Netflix used to be. 2 devices, 1 household, as I said, and then there's an option to pay for an additional account, a non-household account. So that means my family already pays so much money. They're going to be paying more because they're paying for the standard with no ads. They can also pay an extra blank amount for me to have an account. It's absolutely ridiculous. The premium, next up, the premium subscription, no ads. You get 4 devices in one household. That's ridiculous. Nobody needs that. And then you have the option to pay for 2 additional accounts, non-household, and you have to pay for each one of these. So if I needed it and my sister needed it, she lives somewhere else, we both pay 2 different amounts on top of the amount for the premium subscription. It's ridiculous. Another thing you get is Ultra HD, which is always nice, of course. It's not worth the premium price that they're offering though, and you get Netflix spatial audio. Now we're moving on to the Netflix subscription fees. Of course, we all want to know these numbers. As of 2024, the standard plan with ads is $7 a month. Hey, look at that though. It's half the price of standard. It's a third of the price of premium. Isn't that great? No, it's not great. This is all a con. It's all an illusion. They want you to think this is such a great plan, so might as well get into the standard with ads. However, they're making tons of money. Spin all these ads in your face. And we all know it's true because they are just barraging us with ads when we're watching Netflix. I don't know if you realize just how many times we have to click through these ads when watching basic content. It's ridiculous. We're getting to the point where we're practically watching cable again. The other thing is that there's limited content available with the standard with ad plan. I don't know if you've noticed this. This is a more recent endeavor that they've launched, that we can't watch certain movies and shows that we want to. They put a lock on it because we have a standard with ad plan. And I'm going to be getting into it further, how a lot of people are subscribing to this plan and their content is limited because of it. The next plan here is the standard plan, of course. It's a lot of money, $15.50 a month. This adds up, and it really doesn't offer that much more. Like we mentioned earlier, we get no ads, and you have an option to add an extra member that isn't part of your household for $8 a month. You got to pay an extra $8 for your brother, for your sister, for your daughter, for your son to watch Netflix on your account that isn't at home. Absolutely ridiculous. Then here we have premium, which is absolutely outlandish, $23 a month. We already went into the benefits it offers, which are minimal, and it really doesn't offer that much more. Except this time, you can have 2 people from 2 different households that aren't your own pay an extra $8 a month. It's okay. You could give us an extra $60 a month. There's no problem. You're paying $23. Just add another $16 on there. We don't care. It's fine by us. I'd like to circle back around to the standard with ads plan because it's a really big deal that they are limiting your content library. Why would they be doing that? It just seems so strange. Netflix has never done something like this, and everybody's been already kind of indifferent about the portfolio of content that Netflix offers, but now they're holding content back because you're not giving them more money. They want you to pay double the rate that was pretty much the same rate you paid 10 years ago today. in order to watch content that you could have watched 10 years ago today. The same quantity. It's ridiculous. They are limiting the amount of movies and shows you get to watch. It's absolutely bonkers. And just to name a few different like movies and series you can't watch, these are just a few. There's a big plethora of different content. But House of Cards, you can't watch House of Cards. Can't watch Walking Dead. You can't watch Peaky Blinders. And you can't watch Madam Web. I know, right? You can't watch Madam Web. You're so sad. Well, I wanted to see how horrible it was. I wanted a movie to laugh at. And of course, that's what Madam Web is. And no, you gotta pay double. You gotta pay $15 a month to watch Madam Web. It's just insulting. It's insulting to consumers. I mean, a lot of people can't afford to pay all these subscription fees for all these different services to watch what you want to watch. We don't have Family Video anymore. We still have Redbox. I guess you could rent from there, and you could rent from Amazon Prime, I guess. But it's wrong that they're doing this, and I don't know if it's just me or not. The original content they're giving us isn't really very good either. It's hit or miss most of the time, and like I said, I don't know if it's just me. But when I see the N for Netflix in the corner of one of those movies or TV series, I'm just completely uninterested when I see that, because I know it's hit or miss and it's likely going to be bad. So I don't know. Let me know in the comments below what you think of Netflix originals, because I'm really just not in favor of it. And I want to conclude this little section by saying that what is to stop Netflix from doing more of this? Why wouldn't they take away more of our content? Because we're not paying them enough. They have the power to. They're getting away with this right now, and the numbers show that people are still subscribing to them. So what is to say that they're not going to stop? They're not going to stop putting locks on Cobra Kai or other big titles that we really like and enjoy, because they absolutely will if they have the pleasure to. And you know what? I was drawn to make this video because just the other day I had this experience where I was enlightened by the fact that they're hiding content from us. I was in the mood to watch Baby Driver. I looked it up on my Roku. I saw that Netflix had it. I went to Netflix. I typed it in. Oh, there it is. I click play. Nope, it's locked. I can't watch it. I'm only paying $7 a month. Of course I can't watch it. This just shows that Netflix is now, more than ever, a completely unreliable streaming service. I can no longer just assume that Baby Driver's on Netflix and I can watch it. That's pretty bad. They completely lost their reliability by hiding content from us and by locking it. So now, you know what? Maybe HBO Max has it. Maybe I'll subscribe to them. Or hell, maybe I'll just spend $3.50 and rent it on Amazon, which is what I ended up doing. Now, circling back to where our money's going and how we're mostly taking account for it more so now than ever, let's look at what The Verge has to say about this. They provided this chart here that suggests some significant price hikes from Netflix. And as you see, the standard plan that most people were probably subscribed to back in April of 2013 was $8, $7.99, and now it's at $15.49. It's a huge difference. And as you can see, the premium option was also really not that bad back in 2013 at $11.99, and now we're at $22.99. This is a lot of money. I don't know how anybody could really consider paying this amount every single month for a pretty plain service. They're not offering anything particularly interesting here. And as you can see here as well, October of 2023, they begin with this new initiative, this really cheap plan, $6.99 with ads. But they're spinning. Netflix is really happy with this plan because they're making a ton of money on the ad revenue, a ton of money. They're probably making more money on this option than any of the other options they have here. And they love that you subscribe to this because they are in more control of their content than ever. They can put a lock on anything they want at this point if they want to. Now, if you look here, you see there's $11 difference with the premium option and a $7.50 a month difference. I mean, you're literally paying for 2 subscriptions at this point. You're paying for 2 subscriptions of Netflix if you're paying the standard rate. And if you're paying for the premium rate, you're paying for 2 different premium subscriptions as it was pretty much 10 years ago. And I think it's appropriate to mention this quote from Variety, which suggests that a lot of people are being suckered into this too, including both of us, I imagine. I've been suckered into it. I'm paying the base rate, and a lot of people are. I quote here from Variety. In the US, Netflix's standard with ads plan is priced at $6.99 a month, less than half the cost of the standard ad-free tier at $15.49 a month. In the fourth quarter of 2023, Netflix ad tier members grew almost 70% compared with the prior quarter, according to the company, but it didn't break out numbers. 70% of people are subscribing to the ad tier plan. That's insane. That's a huge number of subscriptions. And like I said, they are just spinning because this means that they are making a lot of money off of us. And lastly here, I want to pull up some data from Statista, which suggests that Netflix is doing pretty good right now. Unfortunately, they are thriving off of us. They're thriving that we are giving them money, and they're thriving that we don't seem to care that they are taking away content and that we really end up paying more. Netflix is still successful. As you can see, back in the peak of Netflix from 2013 to 2021 was the fourth quarter of 2021, which saw 75.22 million subs. That's a lot of people. They did have a pretty big decline for the next few quarters, beginning in 2022. In the first quarter at 74.59 million subscribers, and then quarter 2 of 2022 we saw 73.28, and then it started to grow a little bit in the first quarter of 2023 at 74.4 million. And then now we are at the highest, Netflix has the highest subscribers that it's ever had at 82.66 million subscribers. subscribers in the first quarter. I'm kind of dumbfounded by this, and I think that this is the case because the competition is also raising their prices, and Netflix is now offering us a super cheap plan at $7 that we don't really see from any other subscription service. And I think that stands out, and people are putting their money in, but we're supporting a brand that is abusing us, unfortunately, through this. And we have to speak with our money, and we have to avoid giving them money if this bothers us. So what I have to say is the lesson of this story is that we are being fooled. We are receiving increasingly diminished benefits from the standard service we've been paying for 10 years, and Netflix is profiting even more than they ever have. So the question is, what are you going to do next? Are you going to support Netflix? Are you going to give them your money? If so, I mean, there's not really anything wrong with you at all, but you got to make a choice. If this is something that bothers you, then don't give Netflix your money. If it doesn't bother you, then sure, keep paying them the amount and, live on as if nothing happened. But I think there is something wrong here, and I don't think it's something that should be rewarded. However, let me know in the comments below what you think of this whole situation. Do you think I'm being too dramatic? Do you think that this really isn't a big deal? What do you think of Netflix originals? Do you actually think they're that good? Other than Cobra Kai, I can't really, particularly off the top of my mind, think of any content I really enjoyed. So maybe I'm wrong. I wouldn't mind some recommendations from you guys. But I appreciate if you left me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the content. If you gave me a subscribe, I would really appreciate it because I'm new to YouTube and I've been having a lot of fun making these videos, and bringing this to light has been a pleasure of mine to bring it to you. And I conclude by saying thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.